Hello everyone, this is B-Rad again, and we are continuing to look at cams. So this is the second part of a multi-part video set on how to make this box that's on the screen right now. And so you can see the elliptical cam that I made in a previous video, and now it's inside a box. We have the follower here, and the cam is attached to this handle that as I can turn it, we can make it rotate around, and you can see the follower then moves as the cam rotates. So to be able to build this assembly, we're going to have to add some features to our cam that we've made previously. So I'm going to go back to that, at least mine. Yours may be different, probably is different. We're going to add some features to help us make that assembly. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a plane, a work plane. So if we come to the 3D model tab and come over here to the work features panel, there is a plane tool. There's lots of different options here. We want the mid plane between two planes. I'm going to click on the front side of that cam and the back side, and that's going to make a plane right through the middle. I can make this plane bigger if I want. It doesn't really matter, no matter how big we make it. If you were to actually click on it to make a sketch on it, it would actually be infinite in size. So making it bigger just makes it easier to see when we do our assembly. So I'm also going to rename that. I'm going to name that cam midplane. All right, so now we've given that a name, and that name will show up there whenever we hover over it, and that's convenient. Next feature I need to add is a work axis. So again, in the work features panel, I choose an axis, or I choose this work axis, and the one I want is through the center of a circular or elliptical edge, because I have a circular edge right here. And if I click on that, it'll just create an axis right through the center of that. Again, I can click on this to drag it out to make it easier to see. I could rename that, but I don't really want to, so I'm not going to. Next, we're going to add a point. And we're going to very similarly add a point to the center point of a loop of edges. And so we're going to use that same loop that we had here. And this is going to give us a reference point to make our final plane. Now, the final plane that I want to create is one that I want to use to kind of split the symmetry of this particular cam. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back and we're going to pick up plane, and I want parallel to a plane through a point. Now we just created this point, so we know it's going to go right through the center of our cam, right where that shaft would be. So we want this plane to go right through that center point. So we've got that. But then to get the orientation of it, I'm actually going to come over here. This would probably be closed on your screen. Come over to the browser window or the model window, and under origin, if I click this arrow, it'll open up all these reference geometries that I can use, these reference planes. And so I just want to look at which plane is in an orientation that splits this cam along a line of symmetry, where one half is the same as the other half, assuming you have a symmetric cam. So for this one, it is a symmetric cam, and honestly, either the XZ or the YZ will work. I like the YZ better, so I'm going to go with that. And that creates my plane. Once again, I can make that bigger just to make it easier to see, and I can give it a name. And now I'm going to go ahead and give it a name that's not entirely obvious right now, but I'm going to call it angle of cam, because this is, when we create that box, the angle, the reference plane that we're going to use to measure the angle of rotation. So that's what I'm going to name that. And then that completes this. Now we have all the reference frames, all the reference geometry that we need to constrain it to that box, which will be the subject of a future video. Thank you for watching, and that does it for this video.